This video will show you how posting on social media is blocking the law of attraction, or maybe even helping the law of attraction, and I'm going to share with you ways of understanding this at a deeper level so that you're able to create what you want in your life. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now on this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how social media can influence our results when it comes to the law of attraction, some ideas that I have about this whole process and how you can apply it. Now this is going to be a little bit more of an esoteric type video. Now what I mean by that is what I'm saying is kind of like a theory that I've thought of before, something I've actually thought of years ago, and I've seen it just keep playing itself out over and over again, and how we can use it to our advantage if we are aware of it. Now what this has to do with is understanding, first off, that we are all connected. That when we are thinking a certain way, putting out a certain type of thought, perspective, or even emotion, that is affecting everything else that we experience in our life. Now, at the same time, there's something true when it comes to understanding self-fulfilling prophecy. So if we say something over and over again, if we believe something, normally that is going to be the result that we get from that belief that we have. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, the thing with this as well, and this actually stemmed years ago when I was listening to like hip-hop or rap music. I remember I was listening to certain songs and it just felt like it was almost like as maybe some rappers would be rapping about all the money that they have and all these things that they have, it's almost like putting that out there like that and millions of people listening to it, millions of people feeling an emotion when they listen to it, almost adds to that reality for themselves, for the rappers themselves, especially when you see them in a music video living a certain type of lifestyle. I always just had this thought that there was some subconscious, there was some power that had over creating that kind of reality for themselves. Now, this also is something I realized in person as well, because I used to have a sales commission job before I did YouTube full time. And in that sales commission job, I was selling women's shoes at Barney's, New York. Now, it's a high-end clothing company. It's like $1,200 shoes, and I remember that I would sell, and it was like I'd have coworkers that I worked with, and it was funny because when I was having a really good day, maybe I had a really good sale, and just, you know, sometimes the momentum of that is like I just kept getting good customer after good customer. And I realized that if there were other salespeople that were maybe a little bit jealous, what would happen is they would actually help me make money because they would say, oh, he just keeps picking up the good customers. He just keeps being in the right place at the right time. And it was like I would be in the right place at the right time. It's almost like I was maybe feeling in that flow state myself, but also the way that they were framing it, they were subconsciously, not knowing it, you know, adding to that as well and almost adding to that reality. So I know this video is a little bit more esoteric, but it's something I really find and at least have seen play out in my life, so it's something I really want to share. Now, this also, fast forward to just like a week ago, I was on social media and I was looking at posts of a friend, and I had a friend that posted something that said, you know, of course, it was like a picture of traffic, and it said, of course, I'm in traffic on the way to the airport. Of course, there's a whole bunch of traffic while I'm on the way to the airport. And I thought to myself, having that perspective, or, you know, saying that, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I'm not bagging on anybody. If you're watching this video, there's nothing against you. What it is, though, is that perspective of course, this is XYZ, implies that you have bad luck. And then when I may think of this person subconsciously or consciously, I might be like, oh, that person always has things happen like that to them. So it's almost like our luck can be self-perpetuated or influenced based on what we are projecting out to other people. So my advice to you is to be very aware of what image you are projecting on social media. Not in the sense that you have to portray somebody you're not, but be aware of what parts of yourself you are accentuating, that you are kind of like showing off, because that is something that may be influencing people or maybe thinking about you in a certain way where that may add to that kind of reality. So really the power of this video is understanding that when we are portraying or projecting or putting out anything about ourselves, other people are thinking the same thoughts about us in relation to us many times, and that can affect us. Now, there's ways through this, but the thing is most people aren't aware of it. Is if you become aware of that, you can learn how to become more present to the moment. You can become aware of how to kind of become like to where, you know, it doesn't really affect you because you're just so present to the moment and you choose for it not to affect you. So it's almost like your beliefs come into play. But in general, most people don't have that kind of perspective. So therefore, they are more of just kind of being tailored by their environment. So of course, a solution to this is you can become the cause rather than being at the effect of everything around. But most people aren't, so that's why I'm trying to share this with you, is be very aware of what you're posting on social media. Maybe don't post things that show your shortcomings. Don't post things that you don't prefer to amplify thought vibrations of thousands of people that follow you, or hundreds of people that follow you, or whatever it is. And when you become aware of this, then it's a lot of power, because you see that you can, in a way, not add to the negative reality of anything that you don't prefer to experience. And this is why they say you literally are speaking things into existence, because as you speak, think speaking is a vibrational tone. Is underneath that vibrational tone is energy, is a feeling, is an emotion, is a thought, is beliefs. And as you speak it out into the world, other people are absorbing it and they're thinking something similar. And that's why I love the ability to have this YouTube channel, because I can do that in a positive way. I can share these ideas that I think uplift people and help people become more aware of who they are, and doing that can very positively influence the people that I do it to, and that's my intention when I create these videos. But if I were to talk about shortcomings, that would be amplifying that reality. That's what news medias do. That's what the news does. The news knows that. I mean, maybe not even the news knows that, but the people that maybe, you know, kind of influence that type of thing know that as they get people emotionally involved in what is happening with the news and the projected ideas of what's happening in the world, even though what we think is happening in the world is a small percentage of what's actually happening. It's just what they want you to think. It's what they want you to believe. It's the type of society they want you to buy into. They want you to buy into a society where, you know, we have to be fearful of what's happening. We have to constantly be on guard for the kind of crime and stuff like that. When in general, it's better than it's ever been before in the history of what that we know. But we're not really connected to that because we only perceive that which is on television. Which is why I also recommend maybe don't watch television. But the point of this video is to understand that whatever you're putting out to the world, people are linking up their thought vibrations to that. That is amplifying that reality. And that as you become more aware of that, you can choose not to post on social media things that show your shortcomings, things that show a self-image about yourself that you don't prefer. And you can learn that there's ways around that of becoming more aware. But in general, it's easiest to just kind of hold back from portraying those type of things. Put out positive thoughts, put out positive vibrations, positive mentalities and perspectives, and other people will raise along with you, and you'll really be doing society good. Now, of course, the other part of this is understanding the power of our subconscious mind. We can influence our subconscious mind in a very powerful way, and knowing that our environment doesn't have to have power over us, because what we can begin to do is to change our self-image so that our self-image doesn't have power over us. We can learn how to observe that from a neutral place. That's why I've created a free MP3 that you can listen to. You can download it in the description box below. It can help you completely reform your self-image and to also influence your subconscious mind in a powerful way. I recommend you listen to this for about 21 days, for about 3 weeks, and you do it maybe just once a day. And as you do that, you're going to start to see yourself in a new way. You'll start to influence your subconscious mind in a powerful way, and you start to feel completely different about yourself. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification gear next to the subscribe button so that you can see the daily vids that I do. Also, the way that YouTube does things now is that you actually have to hit that button to see the daily videos that I do. So feel free to hit that button, and other than that, I'll see you guys in the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste.